just how much water this car's taken on. Yeah, quite a bit. Hello and welcome back to another video on Serious About Salvage. We've got another new car today to dive into. I plan on this being just a one video job, and we've got ourselves a nice Kia Ceed gt-linr with the 1.5 petrol turbo engine in it. This car is a flood car, so basically the engine has inhaled water. There's no real signs of water being inside the car. Maybe it might have some damp carpets, but the inside's very clean. It's got a little bit of surface mould in places, but you get that even with cars that have just been crashed and left in the salvage yard for 6 to 8 weeks, just with moisture build up inside, that they do. There's nothing abnormal to that, and I don't even think the water's been inside it, to be honest with you. The engine is well and truly kaput. I've had a little bit of a mess with it. I'll show you what I've done, but there's no resurrecting this engine. But engines for these cars aren't expensive, and this is going to be a really nice, easy fix. And I think it's a beautiful looking car as well, so it's one I'm quite excited to dive into and get done. So I'll spin round, we'll have a look at it, and then we're going to dive into it, and like I said, try and get this perhaps just completely done in the one video, out and back in. So there it is. It is, like I said, a red Kia Ceed gt-linr 1.5 petrol turbo. It's a 2021 and it's got 30,000 miles on it. It is a red. Now the camera shows it to be a brighter red than it actually is in person. It's not quite as bright as it appears, but in terms of condition, it's actually a very good looking, clean car. There's no body damage whatsoever. The back is absolutely spot on as well. So this is going to turn out to be, yeah, like I said, a very good clean car. Category N, unfortunately, because it's been written off due to the engine. But you put an engine in, this car's never been in a bump, never had a crash, all original paint, and everything. It's got all the hallmarks of a well looked after car. All the tyres have lots and lots of tread on them. Yeah, I think it's a good one, to be fair. Inside, they are a very nice car, these. But like I said, a little bit of just surface mould. It'll all clean off. And inside, you're very well spec'd. You've got all your sat-nav screen, big screen. There's no power to it at the moment, so I can't power it up. But you get your sat-nav, all your cruise, you've got lane assist. They're a nice car, and they do drive really well. These 1.5 petrols, I've had a few of them. All keyless, just the one key. And it has got a stamp in the service book for, I think it was 24,000 miles or something like that. So yeah, all in all, a car I am very happy with, and I'm glad I bought. It has I think it's got a reversing camera. Let's have a look. No sensors on the front. It's got parking sensors on the back, and yes, a reversing camera as well. So yeah, like I said, they do come quite well spec'd. Right, so this engine, I have pulled a few bits apart. It wasn't even touched, so everything was together when I got it here yesterday. And before ordering an engine, I just had to check to make sure there wasn't anything we could do with this one. So I did that off camera. The air filter, I mean, the air filter's dry, but there's obviously traces of water in the airbox. A bit of moisture in there. I pulled the coil packs and the plugs. The plugs, again, a bit rusty on the end, obviously, so you could tell there's been water in there. I had a borescope down. 2 of them especially were looking very cruddy. He even had a layer of dirt on top of the piston. So it's had some serious, water ingress in terms of, sucking it up. and I've had a breaker bar on the crank. This engine is C solid, it's locked up completely. So no point messing with that engine. You can get engines for these, like I said, for a reasonable money. I paid £600 for an engine with 20,000 miles on it. I've got a video of it in the original car as proof, and this has got 30 on it, so it's got an engine in it. It'll have an engine in it with 10,000 miles less than what's on the clock, so that's all good. And yeah, the engine I've got is complete. It's even got a gearbox with it, so the whole lot's going to go on. Going to go in. I'm not going to mess around splitting this. We're just going to throw the whole thing in. So I want to make a start on this now, and we're going to have to do this on the floor because that heap of Qashqai thing is still up there. So this is going to stay on the floor. I'm going to get it jacked up on the front, get an axle stand under both front two corners. First of all, get the wheels off. We'll get a tray under it, get the engine oil and the gearbox oil out, and it's going to be a case of obviously popping the bottom ball joints so we can pull the hubs round, get the shafts out, and then make a start on the top. Airbox, battery tray, ECU, all out. I'm led to believe you can leave the wiring loom on the engine on these. It's just these two plugs and some earth cabling. It looked like a very simple job to do. We're just going to have a bit of a struggle separating. Oh, in fact, the downpipe's there. So that's like we can separate the downpipe from the turbo. Take the turbo with the actual engine. Probably pull this fan housing. I think it's going to be the best bet. Give us more room on the front. And then obviously drain the coolant. Disconnect all the pipe work. And yeah, just plod away until we can pull the engine out, basically. So I've got about an hour tonight until it's home time. So I'm going to make a start. I'll get some of the work down low done off camera now, and update you shortly with some progress. Right, update. Shafts are out. Actually very easy to do these. The ball joints in the bottom of the hub, they're actually bolt removable from the bottom control arm, just 3 bolts from underneath. So easier than trying to separate the ball joint from out of the hub. Got it on axle stands, got the wheels under just in case. Like I said, I've took the drive shafts out. So down underneath, we're pretty good for the time being. Up here now, we need to start making some room around this engine to give it enough room to come out. So I've taken the airbox out, that's gone. I'm going to take the battery out now, battery tray, ECU. I think on this engine, I'm pretty sure the wiring loom can stay on the car. I think you just disconnect it from the ECU, and I think it's just its own engine loom, so that's going to be good. It'll make it a lot easier to swap over. And then I've also drained the engine oil, I've drained the gearbox oil. I need to now start draining the coolant. And then I obviously need to try and get that fan housing out. That's going to be the key to unlocking enough room, I think. And then yeah, just a case of intercooler pipes, anything else that's attached like the downpipe, and hopefully soon we'll be pulling this engine out. I'm going to try to leave the aircon pumping in the car attached to the aircon rad so we can keep all our aircon gas in, and then that'll all work as it did before. But yeah, just a case of plodding along. We've got two nice lifting eyes, one there, so that'll be nice. I just hope we can get the clearance to get Joe the turbo clear of the firewall, because these are, it's metal right behind there. There isn't, nothing you can remove to make any room on these. So yeah, it's just a case of plodding along now a little bit, and we'll get a load of bits unplugged and disconnected, shall we say, and see where we get. So I'll throw a camera on for a little bit now, but at the top, do a bit of time lapse, removing some bits and pieces, And yeah, fingers crossed soon I'll get this one out. Right, I think we're about ready to lift this engine out. A bit of a mix up with the wiring. Half the wiring can stay on the engine, half cannot, because unfortunately it goes down into the actual car. On this side, it's still straightforward to disconnect from the engine. It's all on the top, the parts that you need. The stuff down the front with the positive battery cable, that can stay on the engine. And there's a little loom on the back as well here, that can stay on the engine, so saves you a bit of work. But yeah, just take off that side. Everything's all clear, gearbox cables are off. I've taken off the underside gearbox mount, or engine mount, whatever you want to call it. We have got the aircon pump off, all the pipe work, fan housing's gone, disconnected the downpipe off the turbo, strap that back. There's nothing on this side. Nothing on this side. This engine now rocks around a bit because, like I said, the back engine mount is gone. So I think if we now strap up our hoist, undo gearbox mount, engine mounts, should I? No, it should come out, shouldn't it, like that actually. Don't think I need to take that one off. Leave that in, just take it off the top. Yeah, should be good to go. So I'll get the hoist out, get it all set up, and then we'll pull it out, and hopefully it clears the bonnet, because I mean I could take the bonnet off, it's no great deal, no great ordeal should I say. What do we think? It should come out. I think it'll come out. Let's give it a go with the bonnet on. If not, we'll whip it off. So yeah, I'll get set up and then we'll see if we can pull this engine. I did forget just briefly before, this is the intake pipe from underneath the engine, and this is full of water, so I thought I'd save it and show you just how much water this car's taken on. Yeah, quite a bit. Now obviously the gearbox oil, not the gearbox oil, the engine oil was full of water as well. So yeah, this car's taken on a fair chunk of water. But it'll be right when we get another engine in it. We will just have to make sure there's nothing left inside the intercooler down there as well. And there is, there's a puddle in it. So I need to figure out a way of getting that out. I can't run it with that in. That's for a later date. We'll get gearbox engine out and then I'll probably look at trying to get that water out the intercooler. Right, we're ready. Just need to undo the mounts and see what happens basically. I don't know what's going to happen. But we will find out in a very short amount of time. Well, I need to jack that up a little bit more. A bit of weight off that. That. Let's clear this mount out completely. That's your gearbox mount. I've got 3 more over here. 4, sorry. One that I can't get to now, annoyingly. No. Ah, you bugger. See if I can just crack it with a spanner. Should have done this one. I put the chain on. No. Ah, yes, silly sausage. See if I can sneak it out there now. Yeah, got it. I've got it. Right. And then I need a deep 17. That on there. Oh, it's the wrong fitting now. That's a better idea. And that engine now should be free. I think. See if I can get it off that stud. There we go. It's a bit slanted, but it is free. Yep, we're well clear of everything. See if now we can jiggle it out. I think it's going to come out quite easy actually. It's almost as if they designed it to just about fit out. We are going to catch a little bit on this. Yeah, just wanted to be a bit more flat because now I'm a bit stuck on this frame. How far? Alright, let's just keep going, it'll tilt more. But then it should free itself in a moment and pop back up. Just need to keep an eye on this side, it's just a bit close to this pipe, that's all. Yeah, we just want the engine a bit flatter when we put it back in. But yeah, it's coming now. Just keep an eye on that bonnet now. Oh, it's going to be perfect. Well, much room for margin there. Let's get it down quick before it bloody falls. There we go. Down and safe. And we have now an empty engine bay. So there's nothing I'd forgotten. It's actually a very straightforward swap, this. Let's make sure that stays in there. But these are the issues, these little welded on legs for the gearbox mount. And the engine just had a bit too much of a tilt, and I was hitting the sump on here, see where it's just scratched up a bit, and I was hitting the gearbox on there because it was too much of a tilt. I need to maybe try and get it a bit flatter when it goes back in. But other than that, it's all gone really straightforward, and I'm really happy I've kept the aircon gas all filled up. That's good. Like these modern cars, it's like £100 to fill an aircon system up. Yeah, it's getting pricey. So I think the plan is now, let's have a look in here. Turbo feels nice, to be fair. It does. Nice and free. Actuator's free. Yeah. It's a tidy engine, in all honesty. It's obviously not been sat in water because everything's nice and free. Obviously except for the crank, because there's been water in the engine. But everything else, like drawers, nothing's really corroded or anything. So no real concerns. Yeah, all good. Right, I need to put this to a side, get the other one in, compare them, see if we need to swap anything over, and then just do the reverse, innit? Drop it back in, plumb it up, get some oil in it, and hopefully, brum, we'll be off down road in it. So, yeah. Right, we are ready to put the replacement engine in. This is our good one. This is our bad one. There was nothing to take off it because we've got a complete engine. So that's just as it was as we pulled it out. This one had a load of extra things on it that I didn't need. And that's basically all the stuff I've just taken off it. Wiring loom, a gearbox mount, intake pipe. We've got an aircon pump there, don't need that. Some water hoses. So yeah, I've basically made that identical to that. So everything else is in there. Oh, we've got a pile of bits around the corner. And this all looks in good condition, to be fair. I need to take that off. I need to take that off before we put it in. They were 12s. Let's whip that off quickly. No, they weren't. They were 14s. Yeah. 14. Let's just pull that off before it gets in our way. Come on, sockets. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Okay. Must make sure this gasket stays in. Everything else, turbo. I've checked out the turbo, it feels really good. Wastegate isn't stuck. Got our crank sensor on. Everything else spot on. I need to take that off, but I will. Well, actually, I can leave that on. I took it off the other one, but I don't need it. Anything around here I need to get to before no, I think we're good just to go in with it. I think we're good just to go straight in. This is the loom, that's air con pump. This is the loom you keep on with a positive battery terminal. I've got all the pipes. Yeah, I think we're right. So hopefully this will drop in there just as easy as it came out. So if I stop there, if I turn it, probably not far off there. So let's make sure I don't just drop the bloody thing now. Nice and slowly. Just need to get it down a bit so it's going to miss the bonnet. And then we can go in a bit again. Stop there a sec. Something like that there is how it wants to go down. It's not easy this doing it on your own. So I've got to control the hoist and I've got to position the engine. Oh, that's okay, it's just the water pipes. Yep, still good. Once it clears them two metal brackets that are welded to the chassis leg for the gearbox mounts, it'll relax around then. And that's it, we've got under them. What was that? Nothing of great concern. Right. Well, let's get that down there a bit. Yeah, like I said, not easy really on your own this, but once it's in, it's in. To try and get right, that's got it on. Just a bit caught up on the downpipe at the moment. I need to I need to jack up the gearbox end. That's good, actually, that's a lot better. Needs to jack up the gearbox end, get that end to come down a bit, and then we can mess around with the gearbox mount and stuff. Unless, if I can get this down a bit and get the nut on that side, we can then lift the engine back up and it'll only lift the gearbox side. In theory. It just won't have it. Come on, drop down there a bit. Need. There we go. Hear it? Dropping down them threads. It's so close. It's just getting caught on this downpipe. So let's take the strap off here. See if we can move it over there. And we can. And then if we push this gearbox end round, nearly. Right, that's got it. Can get this bolt on, this nut on here, get this screwed down, and then we can lift on the gearbox end and get the gearbox mount. Yeah. So let's get the gearbox mount in. Which is this. Whoa. We're getting there. Right, now hopefully we can lift this engine up to its gearbox mounts and we will be in. Yeah, it's somewhere near. I'll have to just mess around a bit off camera. It's a bit difficult this, and it's just taking a bit of time, so We'll have another look in a minute. Right, it's back in. I was having issues getting these bolts in because the engine was more flat, whereas an engine slopes backwards a bit when it's in the car. I couldn't get the tilt on it to get them to line up. Obviously did it in the end, and it's all gone fine. And we're back in. And now it's just a case of obviously doing everything I did before in reverse. And I'm very happy. I need to just check all the tightness of all these engine mounts now. Make sure everything's good there. And then, like I said, I'm going to go underneath. Put the gearbox mount on so then we know it's all rigid. And then I want to get this exhaust back on first, because that's a bit tricky, that part. And from there, back up top, start building it all back up. And before we know it, we will be ready to turn that key, or press that button should I say, and give this thing a crank. Quite a bit of water came out the intercooler, you can see it, it's all the way down here. And yeah, quite a bit of water in the engine oil, but we're all good now. We've got another one in there, and I'm happy with the progress so far. So let's not forget to put the gasket in the downpipe, and that gasket as well on the EGR pipe down there, and fingers crossed, I'll come back to you shortly where we're hopefully going to be cranking it and hopefully get a first start. Right, it is that time when we cross our fingers, cross our toes, press the start button and hope that it starts. I have gone ahead and done the oil and oil filter because the oil filter on the engine, which was over here, look at the bottom of it, it's all smashed in and I didn't want to risk it, so done the oil and oil filter, put a air filter in it because obviously the older one's got wet. Got gearbox oil in, the shafts are in the gearbox obviously so the gearbox oil don't come out, but I haven't attached the control arms to the hubs yet. Got another battery on it just to make sure we got enough juice. Coolant's in. I think that is everything, I think. So all the exhaust is bolted up, as far as I know all the wiring's bolted up. I don't know. I've turned it over by hand a little bit just to help it with a bit of oil circulation. And I suppose I have to bleed the clutch a bit when, in fact it's coming. Yeah, I'll have to bleed the clutch a little bit because obviously I've had the pipe off, but it should be fine. So we've got ignition lights on. It's always so nerve-wracking, this bit. Are we ready? Not enough of the old juices. I started straight up. There's not even a warning light on. And she's running. She's running really well, actually. Sounds good. Oh, she sounds really quiet. Yeah, she does sound really quiet. If only they were all this simpler. If only. Let's plonk this on. In fact, it's probably got to come back off that anyway because I've got to recheck the oil So I might as well leave it off. But she sounds good. Any smoke out the exhaust? Nah, a little bit of condensation, nothing much. Water's not been in this car. You'd know if it had got high enough, it would have filled the exhaust. This has just been through a puddle where it's just sucked the load up, gulped it up, and yeah, killed the engine. But she sounds good. How does she rev? Alright, I'm wondering why it wouldn't. It's the traction control keeps coming on. Where's the button for traction control? There. Yeah. Yeah, all good. Right, what I'll do now is I want to get it on the floor so then I can do the oil level properly, and we can check for clutch, move it around, and then it's going to be a good, let it warm up fully. See how she behaves, check the coolant, like I said, oil and that kind of thing. And she's a good one, so I need to put together these hubs to the arms, 2-minute job. So the nut on the end of the drive shaft. Might as well put the under tray back under whilst it's up in the air. So we're done under there. But no, she sounds good. She sounds good, very happy. So yeah, I'll do the last few bits, we'll get it on the floor and then we'll have another look. And hopefully all's good. And just like that, the car is finished, all clean, all shiny, serviced, plenty of road tests. The car is absolutely perfect. It drives and runs brilliant. There's no knocks, no bangs. The engine sounds beautiful, it pulls strong. It really is a really nice car to drive, and it looks great. The colour, I really like the colour. But I must say, it does look slightly brighter red on the camera than it is in person. It's not a bright red, but it's still a beautiful colour. It's a pearl. It is a pearlescent. Can't quite see it on camera, but I can see pearl in it. So probably depending on the kind of light that's on it, will reflect how bright it shines. Cameras are incredible at picking up colours, you see. They really are, so they do pick up more than your naked eye, which is why it's showing it brighter. But maybe when the sun's on it, maybe it is that bright. It's just not quite as bright as it appears right now. But the car is really clean. It's got the odd little stone chip here and there. You've got to remember it is a 4-year-old car, 30,000 miles. But in terms of a salvage car, this is incredibly clean. And let me shut this door a little bit. It's a bit windy today. This car would not look out of place on a forecourt. It does look really well. And in terms of salvage, the perfect salvage car, the low level flood. Do you know ones where water hasn't really got in, it's just been driven through low level flood and sucked up water? They are the perfect salvage car, because this car has never seen paint, it's never seen a crash. It's just literally mechanical. Put another engine in it like I have done, and this engine, like I said, being lower mileage than the one that come out of it, this is just the same car as it was prior to a crash. And it'll be an absolute bargain for someone. Even the alloys, I don't think there's a single curb mark on the alloys. They've even still got the original stickers on from factory. Might be a tiny little dent there, but even the alloys are incredibly clean. Whoever had this has definitely looked after it. It's been cleaned and washed properly. There's no like swirl marks. Look at that. There's no swirl marks in the paint. That one's beautiful. That one's beautiful. It's got great tyres all around. It's come up really nice inside. I've got a set of floor mats coming for the car, but the interior is spotless. You know, that little bit of surface mould has come up, no issue. In the back as well. It's honestly, it's an immaculate car really. And I'm very, very happy with it. Very happy with it. There's a bit of discoloration on the floor there. Like, bloody hell, that shows a lot on the camera. Not as bad as that in real life. I don't know what's happened there. Didn't seem to be anything on it. Oh yeah, there is. There's a bit of dirt and grease. Yeah, that'll probably come off actually. I'll get the shampoo carpet cleaner on it. But you got your compressor and you've got your tyre glue there. Oh, that's disgusting. I'll clean that up in a minute. So that's all good. Got locking wheel nut key. Yeah, there's only one key with the car. It's all keyless. It's got power mirrors, power fold. I don't want to grab all the things now. I'm to swap hands. Everything's electric, lane assist. It's got the bigger screen. Start up. Runs absolutely. Let's turn that off. Let me just get something on here. Yep, there we go. It's got the big screen with all the built-in sat-nav, DAB, or your aircon, still fully gassed, original. 31,000 miles, pretty much smack on, no warning lights. It's even got 3/4 of a tank of petrol. How much of that will still be in it when it goes? I don't know, I might run it around a little bit. But yeah, what an incredible car. Like I said, fully keyless as well. They come with great specs, these. Obviously it's got cruise control. Yeah. A really nice car, actually. And like I said, when it comes to salvage, these low-level flood cars, I think, are probably the best you're going to get when it comes to cars that are categorised. Because they haven't been crashed. We know that. And you put an engine in one, it's no different, is it? Have a look under here. Whoa. All looks factory. Genuine, original. Absolutely perfect. Can't get over how nice that paint is. Said someone's really looked after this car. Auto lights. Yeah, there's not really anything else to say, is there? What a fabulous car. So in terms of this car, it's been quite the turnaround. I won this car this week. Today is Friday for me. I don't know when you're going to see this video, but today is Friday. I bought this car on Monday this week. I collected it on Tuesday. I went to collect an engine on Wednesday. I swapped the engine over on Thursday. And today is Friday. I'm cleaning the car up and it's done and ready to go to its new keeper. MOT mid-July. So it's got like 4 months on it. Now obviously, if that's an issue for anyone, I can put an MOT on it. It's no great deal. This will fly through, no issues at all. But as it stands, yeah, 4 months MOT on it, fully serviced. It's got a stamp in the book from, I think it was 24,000, and obviously I've just put an entry in it now for service again at 30,000. Bearing in mind, Joe, or 31, sorry, the engine has only got 20 on it, and I've got the video to prove that. And yeah, great car, really happy with it. So that is it for this one. We're done, and if only they could all be as good as this. I would keep this car, no problem, if I needed a car. I like it. They're great keys, they've got really good spec. And in terms of the warranty, 7 years warranty, what if that would still be valid? I don't know. I know I've sold cars to people in the past, and they've spoken to the dealership, and the dealerships have said, yeah, it's still under warranty, even categorised. So I don't know whether it is or not. That's up to the buyer to check into. Anyway, all done. Thank you as always for watching, massively appreciated. Big thumbs up if you liked it. If you're interested in this car or any of the cars I've got, do drop me an email, seriousabousalvage@gmail.com, and this will be a great car for someone. Someone's going to get a cracker here for a great price. So yeah, thanks as always. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.